Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's impromptu live. I'm so excited to be here with you on this Saturday. My heart had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. Okay. I'm in the middle of building out a whole bunch of new things for my business. And I'm also in the middle of um, a kind of revamp in the way that I'm approaching online business, and I'm doubling down on what I know to be true. And I'm going to be sharing those things with you today. So, what I wanted to talk about in the title of today's kind of live stream is double your profits by ignoring tacky trends. It's really good to see you, Queenship Journey. I'm so glad that you finally caught alive too. And anybody else, if you want to let me know where you're tuning in from, it'd be really cool to hear where you're tuning in from today. Happy Saturday to you too, everybody. Happy Saturday. So glad that you're with me. So today, this is going to be, for those of you who happen to catch me live, this is going to be a special treat because I've got some really cool stuff to talk about today. And it's really good to see Terry Greer. I'm always seeing you. It's always lovely to see you guys live because sometimes you guys leave comments and I'm always seeing your names and I'm always in the comments and it's always nice to see you live. So great to see you, Terry. Hello, Dr. Kitsy. Welcome in here in Austin. Awesome. Cool. So I wanted to talk about, I'm going to get right into the training. This is going to be really awesome. So I'm going to talk about something really important. I've been doing online business for 16 years now. And I'm going to just brag a little bit for 1 second. I am going to brag. I've had multiple products across multiple niches. I've sold ebooks, I've sold digital products, I've sold courses, I've sold memberships, I've sold live experiences. Many of the people watching this have been to some of my live experiences, which are lit. So I've been in this game for a really long time. And I've got some really important things that I just want to help you with today for those of you who are doing online business as well. And many of the people who follow me, you're actually truly a business owner, meaning you're not a marketer, and that's totally cool. But what happens for a lot of business owners is they get online and they're trying to figure out how to promote their business and how to get it in front of the right people. And you're hearing all kinds of things from all kinds of business teachers. And I'm not here to disparage anybody else. And I'm not here to make anybody else wrong. I'm just going to offer you what I think is really important, what actually truly works, what actually truly is. And I'm also not just going to tell you what I think. I'm going to talk it through so that you understand it and see it with my eyeballs. So today I'm going to give you my eyeballs. Okay. So there's so much tacky stuff happening right now. And in the thumbnail, I said, let them wear the polyester. Let them wear the polyester. Let them do all the tacky marketing stuff. There's a whole new thing happening with online business that I believe I'm seeing this in the early phases where a lot of people are not yet seeing this. But people are more blind now than ever to tacky, loud marketing. Okay. This is also kind of a PSA. This is a hey, this is a heads up. This is a just to let you know the things that might have worked in 2001 to 2008, 2009, 2010, slowly but surely they don't work anymore. And I think it's for the best. So I'm going to give a quick example. You guys have heard me talk about this a million times, but I just want to throw it out here. The polyester of Instagram. Okay. The polyester of Instagram. Does anybody else here feel like Instagram is just polyester at this point? It's like the Victoria's Secret thong bin during the semi-annual sale. Does anybody else get that vibe? Because I get that vibe. And I don't mean this to hurt anybody's feelings. And if you currently post on Instagram and you love it, I'm so happy for you. But most of the business owners who come to me wanting to grow their revenue and they're mistakenly going on Instagram all day, every day, posting a lot of stuff on Instagram, I just don't feel like that's the best way. And a lot of the business owners who come to me, they don't enjoy Instagram. And part of the reason you don't enjoy Instagram is because it's polyester. Okay. So there's a bunch of beautiful business owners trying to fit themselves into polyester leotards from the early 2000s that just don't fit. You don't belong on the 30-second reels and clips. You don't belong on those stories. You don't belong looking for theme songs, whatever the trending song is on Instagram, trying to figure out what little reel dance you can do, you know? It's not for us. It may be for other people, and there may be other people who love hanging out and spending hours and hours doing this with their phone. I'm not one of those business owners. Okay? And here's a really important part about it that I'd like to just make it very clear. I'm the kind of business owner and marketer and teacher who I always want to lean on quality. Okay. And I'm 99% sure those of you who are with me here today, you're in the same boat. You want to make good stuff. You want to make good content. You want to make good products. You want to make good emails. You want to really lean into quality. Does that resonate? Do you guys feel me? Yes, total fake waste of time. Yes, thank you, Terry. Total waste of time. I agree. And Queenship Journey agrees as well. So it's just kind of a waste of time. It's kind of a time waster, and not just a time waster, it's degrading the quality of our work. Okay? It's degrading the quality of our work. Now, when I say quality, I'm in Austin and the sun is setting right now. The lighting behind me isn't all that great. You know, this isn't the perfect set. This isn't my normal kind of YouTube setup. So I'm not saying that you have to be Michael Bay. I'm not saying you have to have a fancy production. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is when you have an idea in your mind and you really want to create something great from it, the Mark Zuckerberg, short form TikTok, all of those things, take your ideas. You haven't yet fully formed it. And then you're giving your ideas to these little short form 30-second clips and reels. They haven't fully blossomed. And so the content that is encouraged in this world today, the polyester content, it's not really honoring your message. So what happens there, what that yields, what that produces, it's a struggle bus. It's not the content is not converting, and rightfully so. If I could just get on a soapbox for a second. I sound kind of preachy when I talk about this stuff because this is so important to me. This is part of my life's work. It's helping you to do your life's work. And to be honest, I personally don't think that reels, I don't care what the reel says. I just don't think that they merit sales. I don't think there's a reel in existence that now I'm talking marketing talk, but the best reel I've ever seen, like I've said a million times, it's like a C- at best. And so we're in a world where business coaches, not to disparage anybody, but there's business coaches who are encouraging people to get out there and spend a bunch of time doing all these 30-second reels and clips and saying, then you're going to make millions of dollars. I just don't think that makes any sense. And I haven't seen that to be true. And if you take a look at Instagram from fresh eyes and you look at the content of any of the short form platforms, are there people that get sales from it? Maybe, sure. Yeah, some people do. Most business owners do not. And for those who are making money from Instagram, a lot of those people are really wishing that they were fully expressed with great content. So I'm just going to mark that as like the first example of the polyester that we no longer have to wear. It's been normalized in our culture to wear a bunch of polyester to promote our business, to get on there with the TMU stuff. I'm gonna just put Instagram under the TMU category. So it's like TMU level marketing, and we're expecting our business to grow from it. And I just it flies in the face of what I believe in personally. So I'm an extremist. Okay. I'm an extremist here. And I'm extremely passionate about the fact that you, as a beautiful glitter covered alien business owner in this world, you have some really deep, rich things to share. And that means just creating good stuff. And good stuff is whatever honestly, truly reflects your message. So whatever reflects your message, if you can answer that honestly, if after putting out a piece of content, you can say, does this adequately convey what I am intending to offer the world? If it is, that's a success. That's a good piece of content. So if you've been posting to Instagram, this is my last thing about Instagram. I don't want to sell anybody who's listening to this to get off of Instagram. I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just telling you like I see it. If you get on Instagram and you look at all the content that's on your Instagram and you really honestly gut check the following prompt that I'm going to give you, take a look at that Instagram. I want you to do gut check with me really quick and just consider, do any of these reels adequately convey your deep message in this world? if we're being really honest, the reels and the stories and all of that stuff is intended for one purpose and one purpose only. If you look at it from the lens of sanity, the purpose of Instagram is doing nothing more than to distract everybody. It's a big giant distraction mechanism. It's going back to the polyester, it's a polyester straitjacket that Mark Zuckerberg has kind of wrapped everybody up into to keep us distracted and keep Meta Machine getting lots and lots of money. So as a business owner, I want us to all shift out of serving the Meta Machine and um, the I'm going to sound a little bit conspiratorial right now, and this is not meant to sound conspiratorial, but the dark forces of the short form lords, you know, there's a dark side to it. There's a dark side to you get trapped into the short form stuff and you start creating that short form stuff. But in order to create that good short form, you have to consume short form. And then your ideas, these beautiful, deep, rich frameworks get condensed into short form, and everything's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, truncated bit by bit. And soon, before you know it, you look back at the past 10 years of your body of work. It's all condensed down to these short little 10-second, 20-second, 30-second stories, reels, and all this stuff. So what I'm really passionately trying to convey to you, this is, I'm putting this out. I was so moved to put this out here because I'm seeing this happen more and more, where beautiful business owners, we're being influenced in the way that we're expressing our business, our messages, our teachings, our courses and programs, our retreats, the way that we promote and talk about those things. The shape of what you do with your day as a business owner is being influenced and controlled by the powers that be, called Mark Zuckerberg, by the powers that be we'll call them business coaches, you know? It's all just one big giant conglomeration of the trends right now. So I want you to start bucking the trends and start standing for your work. Stand up for your work. Start creating magnificent stuff like you already probably are. And I don't mean to sound this like, for me, I don't mean for this to sound like a sermon, but I do want to shake the collective right now and just say, let's take back your energy and stop muddling around with the short form and the shallow waters. Okay, so that's number one. We can get off of Instagram. The minute that you do this, just this one step, every single business owner I've ever encouraged to quit Instagram has felt such a sense of relief and a surge of energy, because now you're no longer a Meta Machine, a cog in the Meta Machine. You're no longer a Meta Machine slave. Okay. Now that surge of energy, what happens with it? You take the polyester suit off. Now what happens with it? You get this huge surge of energy back that you've been, for lack of a better word, pissing away to the Meta Machine. Okay. And so when we take back that energy, what happens is now you get a surge of inspiration, depth, richness, cognitive function, all kinds of beautiful, metaphysical things start happening as well. You get a deeper connection with your actual work. So let's go into the next kind of let them wear the polyester. The next thing that's coming to mind is a trend of the energetic stance. The energetic stance that a lot of people take with their online business. I'd like to offer you a refreshing take on it. Okay. So I hope that whenever you've watched my YouTube videos, you might have noticed that there's a connection that I have with you as you're watching the videos. So here's my energetic stance that I'd like to offer you as a business owner in this world. I'm not trying to get anything out of this experience. I'm never trying to get anything from, of course, I'm offering things, you know, and of course I'm talking about my offers in my videos. But when I create a YouTube video or an article or a podcast episode or a newsletter or whatever, I'm not actually trying to get something. There's an offer in there, but the energetic stance that we can take with it is we're actually creating content that serves the viewer and that serves the customer, that serves. So that means you're actually going to put some really good stuff in there. Now, a lot of business owners hear me say that and say, well, how am I going to charge for stuff that if I'm putting out my stuff up front? So when I was a personal trainer and I started doing YouTube videos, I was putting epic meal plans up that people actually paid me for. That energetic stance of generosity, we can call it generosity, and actually putting your good stuff front and center and then having more good stuff in the back. that actually makes it even easier for you to sell stuff in the back. You're never going to run out of ideas. Here's the ticket, and here's the key. The more you give, the more you're given. The more you give, the more you're given. The more you give your audience, the more you're given. So when you give generously in your videos and you think up a banging idea, and it's something that you could probably charge some money for, and then you put that out into the world, you're going to get a lot of feedback. First of all, you're getting some epic market research. You're getting some diehard customers that are going to be with you for 15 years. I have some customers who have bought every single thing I've sold over the past 15 years. And that's not to brag. That's to tell you the reality of focusing on letting go of polyester and going all the way into quality. So I want you to think of your content as high quality. If we're talking anti-polyester, it's going to be the most high quality silk fabric. I hope you can see how in the market right now, everything's feeling like polyester. One person sounds like the other person sounds like the other person. We've got a lot of, it's all kind of a homogenized experience that's happening where everything's kind of blending in and it's all sounding like polyester plastic noise. And when they come across your beautiful work and it's actually silk and they can feel it and it's something substantive, you really stand out to your customers, and that helps them to trust you a lot more. So how we do this in practical terms is we just show up a little bit every couple weeks. We show up with a daily writing practice, write out a couple ideas, and then every couple weeks you're going to post a really helpful video for your people, something really epic. And then you're offering something in there for sale or for free or whatever. But I don't even want to get into all that stuff because that stuff really does work itself out. When you start building a community on YouTube and maybe perhaps your newsletter and maybe perhaps a podcast, when you start building your community of people that can actually get to know you and feel your energy and hear your voice and see you in action, you know, all that other the revenue and the profits and the sales and the offerings and all that stuff really does kind of naturally come out and through all of that stuff. Okay. And offers and all of that stuff is for a completely different day. But right now I'm more or less talking about our approach to the whole thing. Another thing that I wanted to mention is how I'm kind of approaching this whole online business thing, in that I'm doubling down on what I know, not what I think, not what I believe. What I know is the only way to go forward, at least for my business. While everybody else is kind of, once again, putting on more polyester. They're putting lip gloss on the polyester and they're like, it's getting also polyester to me, just feeling a lot of polyester stuff. Not to criticize anybody, but the short form, the noisy, the highlighter yellow marketing and all that stuff, it's so ingenuine. The only way forward for me is something that I'm deeming invisible marketing. Invisible marketing, I believe, is going to be the only kind of marketing that actually drives profits from today up into the near future and more and more and more. The old way of, pointing to words on Instagram or whatever, the loud, tacky stuff, I think there's such a ceiling on that, and the ceiling is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And invisible marketing, meaning marketing that really serves your people, it's really going to be the sky's the limit on your revenue and your profits and all that stuff, because there's not because the energy is like gets a little more clean. There's not people are just blind to the tacky polyester marketing. So I'm going to show you one example of this for my business. If I could, I'm going to show you really quick one example, and that's my new free training. It's called the Big Money Blueprint. The Big Money Blueprint is my brand new free training. I put this on the front of my homepage. Okay. So you can get this at brendaturner.com/big. You can also get this at brendaturner.com. What I did was I spent most of a weekend putting together an epic training that I knew was going to impact every single business owner who encountered my website. So the very first thing you see on my website, when you come to my website, it's just something really helpful. Get clear about your business so you can stand out, get traction, and increase your profits. And there's a video training included. And then in the Big Money Blueprint training dashboard, I'm just going to give you guys who are here live a special peek behind the scenes. This is 5 whole beautiful training videos, and there is an invitation to my accelerator at the end there. But what I'm doing here is I'm really leaning into quality, like real quality. So my free offers, any free offer you ever get from me, it's going to be really good quality. And that's what I'm here to help I'm here as a business teacher to help other business owners to really learn how to do high quality work, because there's no getting around it. Like, here's the thing. It's kind of driving me nuts about the polyester stuff. And I'm like, let them wear the polyester. So a lot of business owners who are super smart, super high level, most of the business owners who follow me have been training in their field of expertise for like well over 10 years. They're already making 6 figures or more. And they're ready to grow the revenue online, or maybe take their online business to the next level. And they're like, damn it, it's not working. The things that I thought were going to work, everyone's telling me Instagram Reels and all that stuff is going to work. Why isn't it working? And I'm saying there's no free lunch. So there's no free lunch, meaning we're going to have to put out some excellent stuff. The good news about this, and my MO for the last 16 years, and how I've built my online business over the last 16 years, is when you put a little extra work into something quality, like some really good YouTube videos. They take a little bit more time than an Instagram Reel, but I'm only posting about 2 videos a month, if that. Sometimes I take a couple months off depending on where my business is. We have to put a little more work into these things. But the cool thing about it is then you get an audience of people that are finding you for months, years to come, who knows? And same thing with that free offer I just put up there, that Big Money Blueprint that you guys should all check out if you're interested. This is more or less a profit blueprint for helping you to actually grow your revenue from a 16-year online business veteran. This took me some time to create. This isn't like a single PDF, it's not like a 1-page PDF. This is something that's going to be really helpful for people. But I know that this is an asset in my business that's going to be serving people for a long time to come, just like any of the free assets in my business. So I've got, I'm sure many of you guys have already downloaded the unscripting template, the 31 steps for starting your online business, and all of these free assets that I have that help you to grow your business. My whole thing is I love helping business owners to create their own beautiful assets that really grow their business. So it's all about quality for me. And in reality, in all honesty, when we lean into quality videos, quality content, quality energetic like stance, like how you bring yourself to your work, when you lean into that quality, it really shines through to the market, especially now. So this is why I was saying it was kind of a PSA. Now's the best time to start doing quality content, because quality content is so hard to come by. Quality content, people are craving it. People are like, give me good, authentic stuff that isn't AI slop, that isn't cheap, that isn't the polyester. Give me the quality, give me the substance. People would love to hear your take on a thing, whatever your expertise is, for like 20, 30, 40 minutes or whatever. People would love to hear that. People would love to get your newsletters. People would love to hear you on a podcast. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Hopefully that makes some sense. Let me check in with the comments. Short form is internet litter. I agree with that. Yes, I totally agree with that. I agree with that 1000%. I agree with that 1000%. So let me show you really quick another aspect of kind of what I'm doing with my online business that has helped my revenue this year. So this year, last year, the year before, the more that I lean into the high quality, long form content, the more my revenue and the revenue of my clients grows. And I think that's an inverse line with what's currently going against what's currently trending. So what's currently trending is the loud highlighter yellow, obnoxious marketing. The more that we go against that, and you really stand in your own, don't be influenced by the influencer culture. We're business owners. We're not influencers. So the more that you stand in that, really anchor yourself into that energetic stance, the higher your profits are going to be. Okay. So let me just show you another promotion strategy that I'm using to grow my business. And that's my podcast. So I have a podcast called The Deep Riches Podcast by Brenda Turner. And that's more or less, my podcast is more or less like I do share episodes from my YouTube channel onto my podcast, but I'm also putting other things in my podcast, some more in depth training, a little bit of some deeper teachings. And this podcast has grown leaps and bounds over the past year. I've only had it for a year, and in that 1 year, it's grown my revenue to such a high degree, but it's also grown my sense of community with my people. And another thing that I'm doing with all of my business strategy is I'm once again doubling down on what actually works. What actually works is for me, and what I think is a really solid strategy is really good organic content and also email stuff. Now, is this sexy? No, it's not sexy. So here's the thing about it. I actually recently did a newsletter that was called The Boring Decisions That Make Me Rich. So the boring decisions that made me rich. One of the boring decisions that I made early on in my business is I'm very focused on doing what works and ignoring the noise and noticing what's a trend and what's not. So I don't want to have anything to do with the trends. They really distract us as business owners. So I'm focusing on what works. So another thing that I wanted to mention about the email stuff is I do have sequences. I do email newsletters, and I really nurture my email list. And that's something that's really helped my business over the past 16 years to grow and sustain and keep in touch with my customers and all that stuff. And so I hope you can see now, if we stay really focused on actually creating a body of work that really honors your business, really honors your message, really honors you, reject the polyester, maintain the silk quality. There's so many levels to this, but there's a profundity to it. There really is. It's a mindset shift. It's an energetic shift. It releases you from the overwhelm. Part of the reason that people feel so overwhelmed when they're doing their online business is because they're doing all the things that everybody's telling them to do. And what I recommend is that you do a gut check. And if anything ever makes you feel heavy and tight in the chest and you really don't like it and it's not bringing any revenue like Instagram, we can experiment. Just try this out. Stop doing all the nonsense and all the junk that isn't really making you feel great. Another part of the reason that I'm encouraging business owners like you to just lean all the way into quality is because there is a direct correlation in my experience with high quality work equaling a much happier inner state, a level of joy, peace, contentment, and fulfillment, because you're actually doing your life's work. So don't fall into those short form traps. I mean, I really want you to do whatever you know works for you. So if sometimes a short form just works for you, go for it. But if you open your eyes and get really, really honest with the landscape of online business right now, and you get really honest with yourself about the content that you want to create, and you're like, oh, I really wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't quite get to it. I really wanted to create a YouTube channel, but I didn't quite get to it. I really wanted to create a newsletter that, that people love, but I didn't quite get to it. Take a look at all the stuff that might be distracting you and just go ahead and cut it out for a little while. Okay. That's just what I felt was so important for me to talk about today. Like really, like I felt like it was super, super important. That's another reason, just really quick, that was another reason that I started the YouTube Profits Accelerator. So I do have an accelerator and it's a 6-month container. And basically when I started doing all this, where I haven't ever done a 6-month container before, where I invite business owners to work with me in an intimate way for 6 months. One of the reasons I did that was because I wanted to really get my hands on, the business owners who were really exceptional, but feeling so confused by all of this stuff. And they were really struggling. So many business owners are struggling right now with just all the stuff. They're like, should I do a Substack? Side note, no, you shouldn't do a Substack. That's another waste of time. That's another one of these things that's making Silicon Valley bros rich. Standstore is another one. They're like, should I use Standstore? And I'm like, no, I really don't like Standstore because it's a big, giant, distracting word salad that we're giving our people. So anyway, I have all my thoughts and opinions, but I wanted to create an environment for business owners who really wanted to do exceptional work to just do the damn work, because I know how overwhelming it can feel to have this idea in the back of your mind of all these kinds of things that you want to bring out into the world and really want some help with it. It can be the pressure. I understand what that's like. The pressure of like, yikes, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I don't know the steps to take. So anyway, I did create the YouTube Profits Accelerator for that reason. And you can access that at brendaturner.com/money. This was not, I didn't really intend to talk about that, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up right now so you can see the landing page, because I'm actually really proud of that. So this is the YouTube Profits Accelerator. This is my 6-month container. There's a ton of details on the landing page. So if this at all makes sense for you, you can go to brendaturner.com/money to check out if this is a fit for you. The doors are open right now, and they will be closing relatively soon. I'll send out an email like a week or two before they're going to be closing. But for right now, I'm keeping it kind of relaxed. And I didn't, if I could just talk shop with you guys, I didn't want to do like a high pressure launch. And I really don't love the FOMO marketing. That's another thing that I don't love. I don't love FOMO marketing. I've never loved it. I've never loved being like, the doors are closing soon. Despite the fact that everybody says you should do that, I personally don't love doing that because I don't love when people do that to me. But part of the reason I'm going to be closing the doors is because it's a 6-month container and I'm going to be taking some time off in the end of the year. And so if you'd like to get in there and get your business growing and grow your YouTube channel and grow a podcast and learn how to do emails and all that stuff, you're going to get access to all of those trainings, and all the details are on the landing page at brendaturner.com/money. Let me check in here. Thank you for this Big Money Blueprint. I am on there now. Okay, great. I'm so excited. You're going to love it. How did you find your podcast help grow your community? That's a really good question. Thank you so much, Susan. I think it's Susan. So my podcast grew my community because you're going to have to check out the podcast. But just to give you an example, I opened the podcast with, "Hey, you glitter covered alien." So I have this thing where one of my videos, I said, "You're an alien." And the whole episode was about how us business owners are aliens in this world. And and so the business owner alien archetype, those of us who feel like we can't do it any other way besides create our own business and make our own way in the world, we're kind of aliens. And that whole video that I posted, that was called Blind Delusion Will Make You Rich. I think that's what it's called. Blind Delusion Will Make You Rich. That whole video was more or less, I was putting pictures of aliens on the screen and all that stuff. And I kind of lean into the alien thing. But anyway, so how it's helped to build my community is people, when they're accessing those podcasts, I'm talking not just about the things on my YouTube channel. I'm talking a lot about the nitty gritty things that I'm actually doing in my actual business. And people are getting like a true behind the scenes. And they're also getting, I've been doing this for 16 years. And so when I do YouTube videos, Susan, I'm not able to fit all these personal details, like all the story. I talk about the story of my pivot into teaching business after, 13 years, or I'm sorry, after like 12 years, after 12 years of doing online business. I talked about my pivot. I talked about my health struggles way back in 2016 and how that impacted my business and all that stuff. And so, if you look at some of the comment sections on Spotify, there's a little comment section on Spotify that allows you to comment on a podcast. Many times there's comments in there. And also in the podcast, sometimes I'll drop special discounts. Sometimes I'll say, hey, for the podcast exclusive, you're going to get access to XYZ. You're going to want to check out this early access situation. They get first dibs on ticket sales sometimes. So there's all these little perks that I give my podcast members. It's just a more intimate experience. And the links from my podcast convert exceptionally well. Even though there's a lot less people listening to the podcast, there's it varies. It could be anything from 200 downloads an episode up to a couple thousand an episode. But those people who tune in every week, those are really great customers of mine. And many of them have been with me inside my programs for many years. And so it's just an added element of intimacy, I feel. Um, Super excited to catch you live at last, but I have to rush out to teach a workshop now. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, Heather. I'm really glad that you got to make it. How do you stay consistent on YouTube when life is constantly changing? I like that question a lot. That's a really great question. I wanted to, let's see if I've got a picture that I can show you for, I'm going to actually pull up a picture for you so that I can show you something really important. So this is my calendar. I just so happen to have it on deck. So let me go ahead and show you what my calendar looks like. So sometimes my calendar looks like this. Those little disco balls are little events. Like sometimes I'm promoting my offerings with live events, which I teach you how to do inside the YouTube Profits Accelerator. You get a whole live events training suite. And so those camera icons there, those are the times that I'm filming. Okay. But I want to make it really clear. There's not one best answer to this. The one and only answer that's really honestly coming from my heart is it's just like any other, it's my job. It's just like, how would you stay consistent with your job in real life? So I'm a multi six-figure business owner, and I have been since 2008. And I've made multiple millions of dollars over the past 16 years. And so I think these questions, like, I understand the sentiment of it, but when business owners come to me and they're not yet hitting a consistent 5-figure revenue target, or maybe even 6 figures a month revenue target, and they're asking, how do I fit it in? I think that's stemming from a belief that number one, it's not going to work and it won't have an impact. And number two, basically that it's not super important. And so what I did was, in the beginning, I knew in my soul, and this might not be true for everybody, but it's true for me. I knew that YouTube would have an impact on my life that would change the trajectory of my life. And I didn't back down from that. So if you have a feeling that YouTube isn't like some magic thing, it's not like some magic panacea. I don't want to make it sound like that, but basically, if you have a key offering and a really good business that is going to get customers, that you already had customers. This is especially true for those business owners who are listening who already have customers. I had already had customers in real life because I was a personal trainer. And I knew in my heart and soul that I could take these messages and all these trainings that I was offering my people in real life, I could take it to YouTube and I was thinking, if I could reach even a couple thousand people a video, that would be great money. Okay. So this is simple math. I make the time to do my business because it's my business, just like a job. Now it's not a job in that I don't feel ever that I need to like punch a clock. When I had a job, it was like misery, but this is like the absolute most dream job in the world, but I treat it like a job, So it's not like, oh, like, I don't know, like, just like you wouldn't do that with your actual job. I don't do that with my multi 6-figure business. I actually show up and take care of it. So it's a living, breathing entity, and we want to honor that and take care of it. So for those of you who are watching, I'm going to offer a mindset shift. This is a really important mindset shift to also get out of the polyester thinking, polyester marketing tactics and all that stuff. Because the online business game, it will have you believing that you need to be famous in order to step into those really high multi 6-figure years and generating really good profits. You need to be famous. You need to get the views. You need to get the likes. You need to be, constantly busy. And also that you need the market to tell you that you're good. But this is the actual opposite. So what I'm offering in this training that you've had today is when you step with the quality, please listen to what I'm about to say, because I think this is the linchpin to the whole thing. When you step with the quality, really good content, really good offers, really good, you show up as if you're already making those high 6-figure years, 7-figure years if you want. Now the market treats you like that. Now your customers are attracted to you. So we don't wait for our YouTube channel to be successful before we start putting effort into our YouTube channel. That's another way to say that. We actually start showing up consistently as if you already have 400,000 subscribers, and you start posting like you already have the subscribers, and your channel grows from there. I hope that makes sense. Just like they say, a lot of people think you'll be happy once you get the thing, but you'll actually get the thing once you're happy. It's the same thing with business. It really truly is. That's an important mindset shift that I hope it makes sense. You become consistent when you decide that it's necessary for you. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's kind of a crossover of why I was so if I could offer just a little more mindset, I think this whole game is 50-50. I think it's half mindset, I think it's half strategy. And if I could just offer a little more mindset to speak to what Dust says right here. I think part of the personal training experience and the fitness experience and my background in health and fitness, I was doing health and fitness from the age of like 15 years old. What it speaks to what he's saying here, because a lot of people say the same thing about exercise. A lot of people are like, how do you find the time to exercise? Or how do you find the time to cook healthy food or whatever? And it's like, I heard a coach that I can't remember who said this. I think it was a health and fitness coach who said, it might have been Michael Chang of Six Pack Abs way back in the day. He said, you find time to take a shower, you find time to brush your teeth. Like you wouldn't negotiate on those things. So there are certain things in my life that I just don't negotiate on. And like Dust was saying, which is a great, thanks for that reminder, Dust. But yeah, when we choose that our financial freedom is a priority and our life's work, more importantly, our life's work is a priority, then we're not negotiating with ourselves. Right. So, I don't play games with myself. I make a decision and I stick to that decision. Yeah, I make the decision and I stick with the decision and I don't play games with myself. So I have a couple things in place that I enforce. Let me show you one last thing that I did want to pull up. And I wasn't sure if I was going to show this, but I am going to go ahead and show it because I was like, I'll show this if it comes up. And sure enough, the Divine Beloved had it come up. So I'm going to go ahead and show this really quick. So this is called the Freedom app, and I'm not sponsored, not affiliated. I don't have any affiliate links today. This live stream is sponsored by my Accelerator, which is at brendaturner.com/money, and the free Big Money Blueprint, which is at brendaturner.com/big. I don't do sponsorships. I don't do brand deals. So, but I do want to mention for all of us beautiful business owners who are doing our life's work and shining your light in this world, the last thing I want to mention today is we have to be really careful about the scrolling and the intake. I'm not impervious to the effects of dopamine. I'm not impervious to the addictive quality of the iPhone. So I employ lots of different guardrails for my mind so that I can stay focused in my day and get my beautiful deep work done. And so that you can get your beautiful deep work done, I suggest you do the same. So here's an app that I have installed on my phone and on my laptop. On both of my phones. I have a work phone, I have a personal phone, I have a laptop. So I installed this thing called Freedom app. So the Freedom app makes it so that you can't open anything on your laptop that you don't want to have open. You can't open any other stuff on your phone if you don't want it opened. It's $8 a month and it's worth every penny. I pay the $8 a month as part of like a commitment to myself. I've already talked about it. I have a mindset box where I lock my phone away. My phone would normally, if I wasn't here with you guys, I would be putting this already in a lockbox it locks itself and it's out of my hair. And every time I do that, my nervous system settles. So the only thing the Freedom app does is it basically makes your laptop and your phones inert, except for the apps that you allow. So I only allow a writing software called Scrivener and, text messages from my family and my phone. And that's about it. Everything else is, and Asana, and everything else is completely inert. So please do whatever you need to do to protect your mind in this crazy and chaotic world. Because you and I both know, business owner to business owner, how chaotic this kind of life is. It can get really busy. Your mind can get really distracted. those of us who are gathered together here now, we're lifelong learners and we're curious and we love content. That's part of the reason that we're great business owners, is because we have an appreciation for content, for good stuff, for art, for learning, but then we can get ourselves down rabbit holes. So for the last, this has been a thing that I've employed for the last, I'd say 8 years. During my walkabout, when I left YouTube for a time and I did a sabbatical and I didn't post anything on the internet, for about 6 years there, I actually didn't really take in any social media. That was during my awakening. I won't get into that. That's a different story for a different day. I still had an online business and I was still promoting it with emails and I still had sales coming in, but I didn't have anything to do with posting to the internet because I was on a sabbatical, walking around the world, going to little ashrams and training with Buddhist monks about how to meditate, and training with Dr. Richard Miller and Dr. Ariel Schwartz and just various meditation teachers and yoga teachers and all that stuff. I was in Peru and all that stuff. And that was to help me to really get I mean, this ties in with what we're talking about today. I unplugged my body, mind, and spirit from that hungry ghost of the internet that constantly pulls us in. So I got myself, it was kind of a digital detox, more or less. And then when I came back, my relationship with the online content has been very balanced and very healthy. And I still have to employ, though, these guardrails. So the Freedom app and the Mindsight box and all that, it really does help. Oh, hell yeah. Joanna says, I just got the Confident Creator. Awesome, Joanna. I'm so glad to hear it. And if you'd like to join us in the Accelerator, that will be your next best step. That's where you get access to coaching from me and a beautiful community of business owners who will blow you away, Joanna. So if you at all like the Confident Creator, you're going to love the YouTube Profits Accelerator. Thank you so much for joining the Confident Creator. I just want to say I've been so inspired by your words. You helped me feel validated about my intuition that IG wasn't the best place to spend time. I'm now working on building my YouTube channel. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to hear that. And I'm really grateful for that beautiful comment, Jamie. That's wonderful. And I wanted to leave, I think this is a really good note to leave it on. I want to just leave you guys all with this idea that it's very convincing to listen to the noise of this chaotic world when it comes to doing your life's work, and to let the world shape the way that you approach all of this. But if there's one thing that I've learned over the past 16 years of doing this online business stuff, it's that when you go with what your intuition is guiding you to do, you will always find the way. It will always guide you home. You will never be led astray so long as you're really following what feels, and this is a body thing, what feels right for you. So if anything ever doesn't feel congruent with your system, doesn't matter if it works for somebody else, for whatever reason, it does not work for you. And you trust that. And that will always lead you home. That's going to help you to grow your business. And it's really going to help you to do your life's work in a major way. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It's been a beautiful session with you this Saturday. I'm glad I got to hang out with my people. And thanks so much, Lana. And Lana says, how to press reset and restart online YouTube. I ran my coaching business for over a decade. I've taken months off due to war in the Middle East and me and my family being there. I would recommend, you might have missed the beginning of the training, but I recommend you take my free training called the Big Money Blueprint. And that's going to blow you away. Okay. I promise that's going to help you to reset your YouTube channel and your online business. That Big Money Blueprint is designed for business owners who are ready to scale. So if you want to get clarity about your YouTube channel, your offerings, your position, all of it, this is an advanced level training that will serve you so well. And it's Lena. So sorry if I called you Lana, Lena. Okay. So everybody enjoy the Big Money Blueprint. Enjoy the YouTube Profits Accelerator if you want to come and join me. And I'll see you guys all in the next official episode, which I'll be uploading soon. Bye, everybody.